Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Loads to get into in this video. What Howe's going to do to make sure he keeps his job at the Toon. A Brentford preview, which obviously coincides with what I've just said. Little look towards Ipswich, mainly leave that towards later on in the week. But he's had his press conference today. A bit of other bits and pieces as well. But before that, a few notices. The hats, 4 left. 0 black ones left, 4 white ones left. Get them in now to guarantee they come before Christmas. I will be getting another batch delivered on Friday, but I can't really guarantee that they'll be here before Santa comes, unless you're living in a Newcastle postcode, and I might just surprise you and knock on the door myself and deliver them. But thanks to everyone that has ordered the hats this winter. These have definitely kept me busy, and I really appreciate it. I'm wearing a scarf because tomorrow night, War Flags have said, get your scarves out, bring them along, wave them on, as the lads have a massive quarter-final clash against Brentford, which we'll talk about. Let's dive into the topic at hand and the headline of the video, what Eddie Howe must do in order to keep his job at Newcastle United. Now remember, if you are long-term viewers or this may be the first time you've clicked on the channel, so I'll explain it. I am very much Eddie Howe in. I have been for a long time. I've been getting some stick for that in recent months, especially in my live match reactions. I know there's a lot of people on social media and on YouTube and the live streams and stuff who said, Matty, come on now, Eddie Howe's got to be good. He's took this team as far as he could. I've constantly stuck for him. Other people have flip-flopped. Other people have been very much in the out camp. Other people are still Eddie Howe in like myself. But I tell you what, this is obviously a massive week. He's done the first part well, smashing Leicester. I'd expect that. Maybe not the smashing. I think the 4-0 was very good. Leicester were having a bit of a revival under Ruud van Nistelrooy. They were terrible, but we were very, very good on Saturday. Back to our best. Goal scoring, taking chances, dominant. Very, very good from the Toon, but we need to see more of it. The theme, the problem throughout the season has been the inconsistency, so we must do it this week. Not just Brentford tomorrow night, by the way, Ipswich on Saturday as well. That's why I kind of want to touch on that just for a brief moment at the end of the video before we do the actual previews and stuff later in the week. But Brentford tomorrow night, all focus on that. So what Eddie Howe must do to keep his job is win that game. Win a cup. Is that a stretch? Am I going over the top there by saying he needs to win a cup? Probably. That's a bit of a over expectation, I'd say. But you have to get to a semi-final at least. And then even then, 2 legs against whoever it may be, whether that be Arsenal or Liverpool or Man United, and their opponents who they're facing this week, you know, those favourites, if they get through, even if they don't, over a 2-legged semi-final where we've got the scarves out, St James Park under the lights, I fancy us to get back Wembley. I said it a couple rounds ago, got laughed at. Had me hotel big for ages. This could come back to haunt us tomorrow night. But he has to win this game. And I'm not saying that he has to get sacked if he loses the game, or that he will get sacked if he loses the game. He won't. I've got news for everyone that I keep telling you. He's not going nowhere. This season, Eddie Howe won't get sacked, even if we were right the way down there at the bottom. Maybe we're really scraping the barrel for safety, which we won't be, because even though the Premier League's tight, there's obviously, you know, worse teams below us, and they're really struggling. Down there, the gap is decent enough there. It's from whereabouts 14th, 15th to bloody 3rd, where it's super tight. So unless Eddie Howe had a real disaster, and even then, honestly, I think they'll give him the summer and then we'll replace him. January's massive. We'll talk about that in a minute. But he does have to win this game in order to look past this, because it's not so much he has to win this game right now to keep his job, but I think it has a knock-on effect down the line, if you get what I'm saying. Because if he loses this one, and then he lost to Ipswich, or he lost in January, February, he lost a few games, and then we are struggling, then that's where they'll lean towards the summer and think, right, well, you didn't beat Brentford, you didn't do this, FA Cup against Bromley, that's a big game, a favourable game-ish, but banana skin. And then you look at this, things could mount up. What I'm trying to say is that Brentford, a win, definitely buys him time, definitely gives more momentum after the last result against Leicester, and it breeds more confidence in that dressing room to be like, right, lads, you know, we've got a lot on the season now. This season's still on and popping here. We've got semi-finals to look forward to. We're close to Wembley again. You know, we've got revenge on our minds. We need to make this happen, unlike in 2023 against Man United. So this could be a make or break moment for me. If you look at where this could lead to, what I've just said there, but on the opposite hand, if we're lost, the negativity, the toxicity that could be around tomorrow night, I wouldn't want to be Howe at full time, because some St James Park, the social media voice for Eddie Howe out can be strong. What was it, like 70-30 when we did the poll? 30% wanted him out across social media platforms. Over 10,000 votes there from Toon fans. 70% voted for Howe to stay, 30% voted him out. I did a video on that. If you haven't seen it already, check it out from a couple of weeks back. So that could start to turn a lot more, I feel, if you lost quarter-final ties at home to Brentford. Now, Brentford did just beat us the other week, but that's at their place. They have one of the worst away records in the league. We have to win tomorrow night. We have to. And like I say, it could set us up for a good season. It could really knock us back and knock Eddie Howe back. So first of all, he has to win that game in order to keep his job, because I think it'll have an effect down the line. Secondly, he has to play Sandro Tonali in the 6. Sandro has to stay in that 6. I don't want to see him moved ever again, to be honest with you, because in that DM role, he is smashing it. He is perfect. He was superb against Leicester. He was superb against Chelsea in the previous round of the Carabao Cup. So he has to stay in the 6. It then makes Bruno in the 8 a lot better. So they both flourish in those positions for me. Joe Linton does play this game. He got a yellow in the last game, but he does miss the Premier League game against Ipswich. But however, Longstaff does miss this one after he took a booking in the last round, so that kind of picks the midfield for itself. But going forward, every single game, we have to see Sandro Tonali starting games in a 6. I don't want to see Sandro running at the team, like we've seen. You know, he was brilliant against Liverpool. He's dropped for Brentford. Oh, he's a bit fatigued. Nope. No fatigue. He plays back-to-back 90 minutes for Italy, and that was before he even got his fitness up. Keep starting Sandro. And on the right wing, I think we have to keep starting Jacob Murphy. Listen, 2 goals his last game. His stats actually are really, really good for Newcastle. They brought them up on Sky Sports News earlier today, and his stats are actually really, really good. But at times, you know, he is frustrating. He can be wasteful. We've seen it in the Leicester game. But then again, he goes on to score 2 goals, and he did get a couple of assists at Brentford. I think the reason we have to play Murphy is because the balance that he provides on that right wing. You can see it's an out-and-out position for him. It's the natural selection. We've tried Barnes there, nope, he's a left winger. We've tried Gordon there, nope, he's a left winger. We've tried Joe Linton there, not quite. So yeah, keep Barnes on the bench or left wing, keep Gordon left wing, keep Joe Linton, midfield, keep Jacob Murphy on the right until January. That leads us on to the next one, number 4, invest in January. We have to go ahead, and obviously that's not just on Eddie Howe, that's on PIF, that's on, they're going to back on FFP and PSO and all that crap. We have to buy in January, and it has to be that right wing, to be honest with you, because I like Murphy. I think he grafts and stuff, and he can provide some assists and goals. But if we're going to go forward and we want to be top 6, top 4, eventually, hopefully again, well, we need an out-and-out right winger who produces on a daily basis, who produces goals and assists every week. So what we need there is like an Mbeumo, who would be my pick. I've said it long enough now. The January window is fast approaching. Let's get a right winger in who's actually a right winger and has a bit more end product than a Murphy. And then Murphy can be on the bench. Murphy can be a squad player. Happy with that. And Almiron can happily get sold. So it has to be an investment in January. Will we go back in for Gay, get a defender? What's happening? There's links to Dubravka going to Saudi yesterday, Al-Shabaab, and reports over there saying he's signing for them. Dubravka might play tomorrow night. Will he give Odysseas a chance in the cup? But Dubravka seems to be the choice now that Pope's injured. And January is a massive window, so we have to invest there. So if Eddie Howe can do those things, I think he'll keep his job at Newcastle United. I obviously want him to anyways. I'm Eddie Howe in. I hope he can find some consistency. Listen, to some of the performances and results in recent week have been class. The Liverpools, the Leicesters, but others haven't. The West Hams and then mainly the away form. But listen, there's still a long period left of this season. We're just in December now, so there's big games coming up, none bigger than tomorrow night. So it's a huge, huge time for us to get things going. String a couple of wins in the Premier League, like I said, with Ipswich on the weekend. Not an easy place to go. They're fighting for their lives. But those are the games we have to be winning if we want to be serious and get European football again. So with that in mind, Brentford tomorrow night. You don't want to say it's season defining because, like I said, there's a long way left, but it could be because of the building blocks and how this then turns out in the long run. I just think a win tomorrow night would really lift everyone, give us some serious confidence and belief and momentum to look forward towards a serious semi-final again and look forward to trying to get a run going in the league as well. So big games coming up. Will we do it then? Brentford tomorrow night. Very quick preview here. I think we will. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Mbeumo will score again. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it could be quite tense. It's probably going to be very different than the Leicester game. However, Brentford away from home are a different animal. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see what team gets put out. Howe said today in his press conference, Lewis Miley will be involved. And it was great to see Sven Botman back for the under-21s last night. But he won't be in the feature just yet. He's going to play a couple more games and is still on course for that late December/early January return. Brentford tomorrow night, though. Let's turn up. Let's get the job done. Let's get to another semi-final, man. I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle for that game. Let me know your score predictions in the comments below, and I'll be at the game as well, so you'll be bringing you a match day vlog once again. So let's have a quick look at the highlights from the Howe's press conference before we sign off, as I'm aware of time that we've been on. I want to touch on what Howe has said about PSR. He said it has had a dramatic effect on the speed of the journey. You can't deny that it's dramatically changed due to the rules, and you can feel that change, especially as everyone has to get to grips with PSR. There was a period of time where it was unclear how it would change and what the punishment would be, but then of course the punishment became very real when teams started getting points deductions and that, and he said that is a sobering thought in change of what they can do going forward. So that has halted the journey in terms of getting into the Champions League often and winning more trophies and trying to compete at the very top level. It's been a big change in what we can and can't do in our reality. However, Howe said he does like to think of the impossible as possible, especially with his players. He pushes them to believe they can achieve anything. Great words, yeah, this is the kind of thing you want to hear. But obviously there has to be a realistic expectation internally and externally. And he says our reality has been very different in the last 2 transfer windows. Really hope that changes in the next one, Eddie, for you and me and everyone included at Newcastle United. On silverware, then, he said he desperately wants to win a trophy for this football club, for the supporters here, for their patience, for the support since I've been at the club. Nothing would please me more. He went on a joke about how he was desperate to win a league, a cup or whatever as a player. But he never got close to doing that. So he wants to be the one to get this team over the line and achieve something special, as he was reminded once more the fact that it's been 69 years since Newcastle United won a trophy, which is absolutely ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. He went on to big up Lewis Hall and his improvement in consistency as well. So yeah, I think that's enough considering how long this video has went on for. But do you agree with what I've said? What do you think Eddie Howe has to achieve? Is getting through to a semi-final enough? Does he have to go on and win it? Where we're finishing the league? Are you Eddie Howe out? Are you Eddie Howe in? Have you changed your mind lately? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel TV and enjoy yourself.